Welcome to ECNTRADE Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you for joining me. Well, overnight there was some good news after the softer US Producer Price Index, or the PPI update, fuels more expectations that the US Federal Reserve can slow the aggressive pace of interest rate hikes after 6 increases this year, including 4 supersized moves, which was 75 basis points. The latest data suggests that US inflation continues to cool after the US Producer Price Index data acceleration has eased and more than expected in October. According to the Labour Department figures released earlier, annual US producer inflation rose by 8% versus the 8.3 estimates in October, slowing down from September's 8.4% increase, and again providing a deceleration in inflation after last week's light CPI data. From there, the dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of 6 major currencies, eased to 106.34, which has allowed some of the markets, as we can see here, now producing fresh gains, and from there have reached some of their targets. Looking at the Australian dollar, the call was to around 68 cents, and you can see the market stabbed at the highs there, which was roughly at or close to 68 cents before easing back. However, the technicals are still holding to a bullish trend and therefore could see another test up. But I feel the market will struggle above 68, and therefore if we see the current price action, that we may see of a potential pullback to 67.10. Still, however, as I mentioned, the ADX is trending. We are overbought, so it may be a little bit of a bumpy journey to the upside, and any advances, as I mentioned, above 68.05 to 60 could see some profit taking, as we have held this pattern now for at least 5 big figures. The euro also took a stab to its upside challenge, which for myself I wasn't calling because I felt that 103 was where my target or designated target was, but I did allow a little bit of slippage, and we can see we got that blow off top close to 105. With the ADX still trending, the market is likely to see further tests up, but I feel the intraday may display a modest pullback, and if so, could see that to around 102.70 before the market rallying on, that is towards 105, and reassess from there. The dollar yen nearly reaches its objective, which was at the lows around 136.40-80 area. As we can see here, we did get a brief challenge towards that bottom side of the range. It didn't quite reach the objective, but got to around 137.5 before bouncing. However, I haven't changed my view, and still the downside holds at 136.40-80 area, and therefore could see a potential battle between the bulls and bears that may result in a rebound. But still keep your technical assessment very close to how we unfold, as the market will be very whippy and could now be in the boundaries of 136.40 to 140.65. Sterling also claims its objective, that is, of 120, although I did state that it reached my target of 118, but I did give it at least the benefit of the doubt that we could see a stab towards that top side and a key area 120, and you can see it was brief before dropping back. If the pattern holds, however, we could see another test towards that top side around 120, and with upside beyond there to around 122.5. Any pullback, I do feel the support will probably be holding around 116.70-80, and that now locks the parameters of 116.70-80 to 120 in the short term. Gold remains steady as it now claims its target of 1,784 to 88 and not backing down. The ADX is still holding quite well, but we are overbought, so we could see a brief pullback, which I feel could be as deep as 1,756 to 58. But let's not rule out at this stage any up challenges towards that top side, as the market is still holding relatively well. But as I mentioned, we are overbought, so it does warrant a short pullback before heading higher. Wrapping up with oil, well, the market took the challenge towards that support level of 83.79 here, was rejected, and from there closes on a mixed note. Reason why is the RSI is around that 50 midway point, and therefore could see a little bit of a whipsaw price action unfolding, and maybe still to the weaker side, and therefore looking back towards 83.70-90. but the resistance at this stage is around 87.60 to 89.70.85. Well, that wraps it for the morning. Thank you very much for joining me, and as always, look out for the intraday report, and I hope you enjoy the great start to the day.